welcome back. And today we have a very special guest who's been staying with me for a while. So I thought it's really nice for you to meet her because we have some really cool stuff to talk about, as you can tell by what we see in front.
So this is the big question. For modern people like us with busy jobs and schedules, how do we integrate yoga, science, and modern life? How do we live our normal lives and yet achieve bliss? That is the question. And this podcast will give you the answers. My name is Mariya and welcome to Lifestyle Secrets.
Before we begin, we're just going to tune in to just harmonize a little, and please join us. So let's rub the hands and place them in the sternum, and let's inhale and exhale. And let's inhale to begin. And exhale and relax. So welcome back, and it's a pleasure to have you here, and it was a pleasure to have you over the past few weeks. And we have really experienced a lot together, and we've played a lot with these. We filmed a really interesting thing which you're going to hear about a bit later. But first of all, Harriet is really well known for healing sound baths combined with kundaliniyoga. So,
Yep.
Harriet, could you tell us a little bit about how did you even get into the healing and the healing sound? What drove you to go in that path?
Yeah, well, basically, it all came about by chance. All of the work that I do now has been completely thrown at me, basically, all by chance. So last year, when I discovered that there was a whole modality around sound as a healing practice, I was so fascinated by it. I instantly signed up for training, and I first discovered sound healing because of the beautiful power of the gong in a Kundalini class.
Yeah.
And since then, I've always loved the gong, as it's had such a profound effect on me, and I've loved it in a class, and the way that it makes my body feel, the visions I would see, the different ways it would affect my emotions was just so interesting that when I decided I wanted to expand my healing practice, I was researching the gong and discovered that there's not just the gong that can heal you. There's crystal singing bowls, Himalayan
There's all
bowls.
other world out there, yeah.
So much information, and I was just so inspired. It was.
Can I just ask you, because
amazing.
many people go like, oh, the gong, but how does the gong actually affect us from a more kind of even physical perspective? How does the sound really penetrate and heals people?
Basically, each instrument that I use has a different plane which it affects. So for me, the gong is very much a shamanic tool, as it deals with the lower worlds as well as the middle, sometimes the higher. But for me, the vibrations, and it's all about the frequency and the note of the instrument. So the gongs and things that you look up, like they might have a different planet that they're tuned to, so it's all about matching that frequency. So the frequency can be that specific hertz, and that hertz can have a different effect on, say, like organ or a chakra, and that's how it can penetrate your soul, by changing that with that sound.
So selecting the right instrument to play, you can actually physically affect that specific problem.
Exactly.
And heal that way.
Yeah. And the thing to note is that it's hugely marketed that this instrument is for that specific chakra, but you might find that you'll listen to, say, the heart chakra, and you'll feel it in your throat, or you'll feel it in your solar plexus, because actually each person has a different frequency for their chakra. So you can, yes, like I always recommend buy the set, because really each thing is going to be working on a different area for you, because you have a different frequency to anyone else.
Or find a sound healer to do it for you.
Yes.
It's much easier.
So much easier. Or just feel what it's resonating inside with you. Basically, you can work with knowing your vibration and then pick the instruments, but really it's all about learning how to utilize these different frequencies for your body and other people. But yeah, so you can focus on a chakra, but just bear in mind when people market things as this chakra, you might feel it differently in another place, and that's okay, because it's likely that that instrument is actually hitting your frequency of another area. And it's something to note, because everything really is like mass covered for like the general chakra like note. But it's like that with clothes, you know, you get a size 8, but every clothing piece is different.
Yeah, and everybody is different anyway.
Exactly.
So if you are, and we're gonna actually have a little sampling after, and Harriet's gonna play for us a bit of a healing bath.
Yeah.
But if you had to choose one instrument that you would say anybody should have in their home, what would that be?
Koshi chime. Always the Koshi chime.
I did buy 5 because of her.
All of them. They're literally incredible.
But they're really nice indeed.
They're so beautiful, and the sound is so tranquil. Basically, there's a set of chimes, and I use one because I was instantly drawn to the water element, because for me, water and the emotions are what I like to work with. So I chose water, but you can choose.
Shall we show them what that is?
You can choose any element, or you can choose all the elements, and basically just play it in your house, because if you're playing music that's of a certain frequency and vibration, then you're going to be changing the frequency and vibration in that room and that space. So for me, it was about, let's clear the emotional energy and use water, but you can use fire, you can use earth, you can use air. You can go
So
for it.
guys, I have fire, and this is how it sounds. And it's like magic.
It just instantly calms you, and these are really easily accessible. They're not expensive. They're about £36, and if you can just get one and just start practicing,
I'll post some links below for you guys to find them. They're great.
it's just
My
a
new
great
toys.
introduction to sound.
Beautiful. So, I think we spoke a little bit about, because in Kundalini you've noticed, and probably a lot of people link to the fact that there is mantra and there's music, and it's this combination of sound and practice and breath that draws people into it. And Kundalini uses heavily a lot of mantras, either chanting or listening to that. But we were chatting the other day about not only the power of mantra, which we'll discuss in a second, but also how important it is to integrate it into your daily life. Because we all kind of have spaces outside our homes or outside where we practice yoga, and we don't really realize that we can actually integrate this healing science into your life. So we've been talking with Harriet, and I was like, actually that's interesting, because you know, she plays it when she sleeps. I play it in my office, basically on no volume, but it plays on my computer. And you know, I play a protective mantra. She plays.
I play a lot. I have
a lot of my different mantras, but we've figured out somehow that you actually, by having that in the background, it cleanses the space, right?
Yeah, exactly.
How do you feel with that?
For me, it's like you integrate this practice into your life. If you're it's great you have a daily practice, but blend it into all of your life. Don't separate it from everything. You want to merge it so that this becomes your life and that you're constantly in this state of a high vibration, because yes, your world could be crumbling around you, but you know that there's something that's carrying you, and you know that you have one constant thing. I know that if I have something that is constant in my life, whether it's that I'm always playing this one mantra, or I have my daily practice, which I always do, no matter what else is happening around me, I know that I have one thing I can rely on.
You remember we spoke about daily practice before?
Mm-hmm.
There you go.
You need to have a daily practice.
She said it, not me.
Mm-hmm. So with mantras, I found if I can surround myself with a vibration that's very high, not only does it protect my own energy, but it changes it. So there's the Narayan Shabad, and I noticed, so I like to play around with the different mantras and see how it affects my life. And whenever I listen to this Shabad, people stare at me in the street, and I have it on my headphones. People will literally turn their head and stare at me. And it's very interesting to see just how much just listening to these vibrations affects your aura and your energy. So for me,
we are all vibration after all.
Exactly.
So when we do yoga anyways, we affect ourselves and we raise the vibration.
Yeah, people
But-
notice you differently.
But it's coming back to your point, like mantra brings you higher, brings that vibration higher. So you start attracting, obviously she's good looking, so she starts attracting a lot of looks. But the reality is once you come up, you start attracting a higher vibration, and that's what you want in life. You want to be as high as possible. So, you said if you're low, if you're sick, if you are in negative patterns, and we get into those because of emotions and because of life hits you from time to time from one side or another, and we get lower and lower and lower. We need something to keep you up, and this is an amazing suggestion. Yeah.
And I play, so basically, if it's the only one time you can play mantra because you're busy, play it while you sleep. Because when you sleep,
But you don't really hear it, right? You put it in very low.
I have it quite loud because I'm a heavy sleeper. But I have it on a low setting, but it depends on how sensitive you are to sleep. But basically, when you go to sleep, your subconscious gets free reign of your mind. So if you think your subconscious memory holds all of these things that you're not currently thinking about, every thought that doesn't instantly pop in your head is stored somewhere. And when you sleep, it's like opening this gateway. And when you open this gateway and you don't have mantras playing, you don't have this high vibration that's inserted into your subconscious to clear any patterns and blocks, you're just cycling and cycling and cycling. And that's how in your dreams you can be stuck in these same patterns and situations. Whereas the mantras come in, they shift that. You might have these crazy dreams, but you know that this mantra is working on it. So you use these mantras while you sleep to be healing you all the time and protect your subconscious thought form so that they're not taking like running the show. Like, it's the same how you have a spiritual practice to stop your ego running the show, so you work in harmony with it. It's another way.
Can we actually do something? Can we maybe list few mantras that you use for sleep?
Yep.
We can actually, you guys will find it somewhere on the link above once we are ready with it, and you can download a few of these that we use. I can give some for protection, maybe
Definitely,
something for sleep.
Right now I have certain ones that I listen to for my life situation. So firstly, I always listen to Japji while I sleep, because if I don't have time to chant the Japji in the morning, I know that it's at least going through my head, or I play it while I do my practice. Always have the Japji, because it's kind of like your home base in Kundalini. So I play the Japji, then I have about 3 puris that I'm working on with my own personal life choices at the moment to support me and elevate me through that. Then I listen to Sopark, and basically this mantra is all about healing the masculine. So it's a Shabad for women to listen to help men, and you can play this to either attract a soulmate, you can dedicate it to 3 men who need healing, or you can do it to work on your current relationship with your partner. I'm actually listening to it because I want to just do it for the men of the planet, because as the feminine rises, it's so important that we uplift the men as the women rise, instead of bashing the men and creating an imbalance. If we rise together...
Don't worry guys, we'll give you an
perfect.
option as well.
Yeah. No, there's also a mantra for men, for women, and I'll attach that below, because it works both ways. And again, like, whatever you feel resonates with you. Whether you're a woman, you want to listen to the other mantra, you're a man, you want to listen to, like, whoever you are, whatever you want to listen to, do what feels right with you, because no judgment here, like, do what you want. I listen to that. And then I also have Rakanaha, which is a really good mantra for sleep. It's another protection one. I have Manai Surat, which is an extraction from the Japji, which is all about intuition. And I literally have a long list.
We'll send that.
Yeah.
We'll send
And
that.
another good one is Apsahai Hoa, which is all about removing blocks. And I like to do that because then it's like I'm literally cutting through karma while I sleep.
Beautiful. And so what we have here in front of us today?
So we have...
So just to also mention that we've worked really hard on something very beautiful, which would come next year, which is just 2 months away. And that is to balance your full body's chakras.
all the
right?
chakras.
So we've been really blessed to have the time and the energy and the circumstances to have Harriet back from LA, and we filmed a really, really beautiful program. You want to tell us a little bit about it? Don't break much of the secret.
Okay, I'm just going to break it down into some simple stuff. So I've got a 7-part series on the 7 chakras, and this is going to include kundaliniyoga, sound healing, and food, because if you follow me, you know I make a lot of vegan recipes, and it's all about using food to heal you as well as your spiritual practice, like literally cultivating your life into a spiritual practice. And there's lots of different tips that I'm going to show you, and just little lifestyle changes that you can make to make sure that you're constantly in balance with yourself. And it's all about making sure you're in balance no matter your external situations, because we all have a crazy life and it's always different, but it all comes down to you and keeping in balance with yourself.
So stay tuned. It's gonna come on Kundalini Lounge in probably January. But if you're interested, just subscribe for the newsletter. We'll announce when it's out. So very exciting stuff.
Yes.
And so what we have here today in front of us.
So we have 3 of my crystal singing bowls, and I have a chakra set, which, as I mentioned before, these are general chakra frequencies, but you might find when you listen to it, you feel it somewhere else. So I have the root chakra, which is here. We have the heart chakra, and then we have the 3rd eye chakra.
That's so nice.
And these 3 I love to play together, not based on the chakra, but because of the way that they harmonize the sounds together.
Well, you do have kind of the base triangle, the upper triangle, and kind of the meeting point. So it's a good balance.
It is a good balance.
All right, well, I'll leave you with Harriet, and she'll play us some healing. So enjoy this, and thank you very much for joining. Satnam.
Satnam, thank you.